Hey everyone, this is Ken. I'm here at the Western Band Association at the Long Beach City College. I'm here with Steve Perez, a multi-year 90s vet from the Vanguard Cadets and Santa Clara Vanguard. So, Steve, you want to tell us your Vanguard moment or moments?
Yeah, I would have to say, well, the journey started in '92 with Cadet Corps, and for the next, for the four years of my high school, I was in Cadet Corps. Every year was snare line. Then '96, finished high school, moved to college, started in the A Corps, and aged out in '98, playing snare. Um, I would say some of the best moments. While each year had its own best moments, I could definitely pick a couple, and I'm going to focus on the A Corps here. '96. What we were up against, not just the drumline, but as a corps, coming off of 3 years that were rather unlike what people have been used to seeing from Santa Clara Vanguard. We knew that in '96, with big changes in the staff, that the goal wasn't so much to win the championship, but we had a lot of respect to gain back, and it was definitely a year where we had to let everyone know, okay, we Vanguard is back. We ended up in fifth that year. The drum book was amazing. That was the first year that Jim Casella had taken over the helm of the percussion section. So his writing, luckily I was used to his writing from the previous years in Cadet Corps, but his writing on another level, absolutely amazing. The show is great, and I felt that even with a fifth place finish, we definitely let everybody know that, okay, Santa Clara is back. I took 97 off, but it was good to see that the Corps placed even higher then, and then came 98 that year. Absolutely one of the hardest. I credit that year as the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, both physically and mentally. Very challenging show, but absolutely amazing, and one of the best moments. And it was pretty much every time we did the show, we had this in the closer, this really, really long open roll. And it started with just the snares, and then the basses and tenors joined in. And every time we locked in to have the open roll that long, big push, horn line is playing full out, horns to the box. Crowd is definitely responding to what's going on. But every time that roll locked in, the hairs on my back stood up, on the back of my neck stood up. Every time, whether it was on the field in practice or on the field.
Yeah.
And being able to listen to the judges' tape with Glenn Fugit on the field.
Woo! Woo! Oh my Lord! Woo! Yeah, go guys, go guys! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Oh, bases, wonderful, magnificent. Oh man! Oh, wow! I am stunned, man. That was a performance, my friends. That was wonderful, wonderful in every way, okay? From performance quality, musicality, your approach is all about that. Not just in the front ensemble, but out on the batter, and your approach to the snare thing. I mean, now that since we're using so many Kevlar heads and that sort of thing, you know, you don't see that kind of arm movement and like the molar almost type of stroke, and everything just breathes every phrase. It's been a joy, guys. You should thank your instructors because they have put a great product in your hand. They've done a fabulous job of in
that section, and just hearing it on the judges' tape, and just this amazing roll, and all he could say was wow. And I believe he said it like 2 or 3 times. And hearing that judges tape, and I believe you can even find it on YouTube. I know it's out there. you'll definitely know what I mean. That show every year. It was great to win drums that year. We won quarterfinals that year. There's definitely up in the air who was going to win. There was that thought, but really the mission was just to march your age out, show the best you can, and we won drums. I'm never going to forget that. That was definitely a high point, and seeing all the videos that Spike has made of that year of us, especially after we won drums, and the pictures of the trophy, signing the Pearl banner, definitely never forget that. That's for sure.
Yeah, thanks. Great memory. That was your last year with the Corps. Now going back over to your rookie year, I remember you're a rookie, and you even got your Corps jacket. Yet you're still you're in your growing pains. Yet for some people, wow, it'd be kind of weird if he got cut. Yet he has his jacket and such. Yet at the same time, once tour hit, like I said, you were still in that growing process. Yet, I mean, what did you do in order to just change things around? Not just yourself, but also the snare line. I mean, because it's like like I said, you didn't come with us, start with us in November or December. You came with us like in like a mid part of the preseason. So how did you, if you could, inspire our Vanguard cadets, how'd you turn that around?
So funny how that happened. It started the Fiesta Bowl, the winter right before that. So that was 91, December 91, Fiesta Bowl. I'm there with my high school band, and Drum Corps had the Drum Corps West All-Stars there, the DCW. So here you had, all the best of the West Coast Drum Corps, just a giant, there was everyone, freelancers, Blue Devils, Mandarins, Vanguard, just everybody. I recognized Mike Apodaca. I didn't know who he was, but I recognized him from watching him on 91 on the DCI finals on PBS, and I recognized him from that.
That's right there, 91, where he's. I think they were doing a big push, and he's just going forward towards the front line. I remember that. Yeah.
Camera loved him in that. So I walk up to him, and he even remembers this and makes fun of me for this. I walk up to him, tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, can you play Martian Mambo for me? And he looks at me, and he's like, well, yeah. And of course he played it, and I'm just like, yeah, dude. So I gotta watch a Vanguard guy playing Martian Mambo, and I'm like,
do you have his tenors with him, or was he with his? Oh, okay.
Yeah, uniform, everything. That's right. So I'm on cloud 9. I'm in my high school band uniform, Kelly green and orange. But here I am, just walking up to him. I tell him how I finally went to my first Drum Corps shows in 91, the summer before. I want to do Cadet Corps. I didn't know that there was a Cadet Corps until that show. And he was like, oh, well, as a matter of fact, my friend Jim over here, he's teaching the drum line for, and I'm like, so I met Jim Casella, got phone number, and so the January camp, at the end of January, I went out. I thought I knew how to play traditional grip. My left hand was all wrong. It was a small town drummer from a small town in Central California coming to something like this. It was a big awakening.
My apologies. That's right, because back then we had practice on Wednesdays and during the weekends. Yet you were only able to come out like once a month,
right,
and such. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So we made this deal. I'd only come up for camps, and I was having to take a Greyhound bus, starting at like 7 in the morning from Porterville, stopping at Fresno for an hour, and then finally getting to San Jose, and Jim Casella come pick me up. But I know, and I love telling this story to my students that I teach as well, is how they can do it. Like, I tell them I barely made it, and I know for a fact that they took all the flam drags out of the opener because I couldn't play them. And that is such a fun story to tell to this day. And I tell all of my students I teach, I'm like, you'll get there. Keep working on it. This happened. And then, if you also recall, that same show, the ballad, that was some of the beautiful snare writing ever. Metered rolls, just beautiful. And during that, I picked up a flag and did guard work. I was the only snare to do that. And the quads did, because the music just called for that. But from that camp, and I'll always remember that first camp, and I struggled all weekend, but I just kept on trying, and a lot of it I ended up playing. I'm looking at the music, I'm able to read it. I think that was a saving grace, is the fact that I can read music. Yeah, that Sunday, and they called me over, and that was the longest walk, and I think it was really only like 20 yards, but having to put the drum down, and the drum staff is there waiting, and I don't know what they're going to say. I know that I know how I played, and it was not how everyone else was playing. And Jim's exact words, "We think you can do it," which I loved it, but still he made it very clear that I got to work my ass off, and that's definitely what I did. I just long nights, the drum pad, focusing on my left hand. I just knew I had to go back and have at least something fixed, and I was really focusing on that left hand. And from then, and what I tell friends who want to go try out for a drum corps is, as long as every time they see you, you improve. If they tell you to fix something, then the next time they see you, just have it fixed. And that's just what I love. And yeah, I barely made it. Like I said, parts of the show were watered, and I know it was because of me. That's fine, you know. I was where I was, but you just got to keep your eyes on the prize. And that prize was, every time our show was done, I'd go to the lot and find the A-Corps and just sit and watch until it was time for them to go on the field and get in the stands and watch. And 92 Vanguard, I mean, that drum line, seriously, one of the best drum lines Vanguard has ever had. I mean, who cares what they placed? But you look at all just the names that were in, from the bass drums, cymbals, snares, and tenors, especially that tenor line. Jesus, those 5, wow. So that inspired me. And I just knew that when I came back in 93 is when it finally clicked, and everything just became clear. And it's hard to describe, but I don't think it was, I think we were on tour, but we were still in California. But it was almost like you're trying for a year and a half to focus a lens, and one day you get HD, and that's the best way to describe it. And 94, I was center snare, and 95, although I was at the end because of height issues, I was center snare. Well, not, I guess, drum cat. Well, still. Anyway, but just working, and man, and I'm just glad that I stayed with the Corps, even through the years that I know, you know, people look at 93 through 95, how they look at it. People look at it different. I still cheered for that Corps like they were the best thing on the planet every time, and I still do to this day. Every year, my favorite Corps is Vanguard that year, and I just want them to succeed, and
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I realized about Santa Clara, is that the kids, or the musicians, they really loved Santa Clara, and they just pushed and they continued the tradition, even though things get interesting, like, you know, they always do, but the musicians still just love that show. So yeah, you're right about that. It's hard to put into words. I mean, here we are with, you know, so was it over 20 years ago, but yeah, you're right though. Those 93, 94, 95 is it definitely was a time. So, but here we are, 2017, coming into 2017.
yes.
You know, auditions are coming up for the Corps, so definitely I'm looking forward to it. So we shall see. Also, you know, people know about 92. I know bits and parts of it, but you want to add your own, like the names that were there. Of course, Murray was in the tenor line. You want to talk about Colin, who went over to cadets, and of course, you know, some people at the bass line. So
Right, yeah. It was Jeff Queen was in that snare line. Nick Angelis, Chip Webster. I mean, gosh, these people just monster chops. Walter, the center snare. And then, yeah, all 5 of the tenors. I mean, when you think the 3 of them placed first through third in I and E that year. They're just nuts. And then you had their funny little tenor ensemble that they did. That was, you were laughing just as much as you were drooling over what they were doing. Monsters. And I'm just glad that at least I had that summer to be around that every single day, just about. That was always my thing, was as soon as we were done and dismissed, go and find the A Corps. I didn't want to watch any other drumline but them. And I think that definitely helped on the other side of things, of knowing exactly what I need, what it needs to be like. They set the precedent in a way that I knew that was where I needed to be. And I knew it wasn't going to be that next year, but at least I knew that in time, this is the result. At least this, if not, then you aim higher. But this is the way it's got to be. Yeah, I definitely. 92 was a lot of fun. It was a short tour for us. We ended mid-July.
Yeah, up in Denver, the highest point in the world for drum corps. So I'm sure there are other stars, but yeah, that was a big awakening.
Yes.
So
yeah, definitely good. That was also the year that Eric Amin, Jose Aguilera, and Jim Casella, they coined the nickname Perez, which has definitely I get called that every day, still to this day, and it's just crazy to think that I show up one weekend at a camp and all of a sudden I'm Mr. Perez, is what they always called me.
Great to have those names. What about the bass line? Who do you recognize? I know you mentioned that section.
Oh,
so.
right. Oh, and now, I see his face. He was with us on tour, and we called him the Sergeant. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. Top bass. Super
Ryan?
funny guy.
Had bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
Ryan.
God bless America, boy. Him. Oh gosh, I can't remember. I feel so bad because he came on tour and teched us on a couple tours in Cadet Corps. I believe in '93. Maybe 94, but I think 93, he came out for like a week when we were in the Pacific Midwest. But he was the top bass, and if you hear this, I am so sorry. It's been a long time.
That's right. That's when Zach Morton was grabbed
Zach?
top bass, or in '93. Is that?
No, in '93, Zach was still in Cadet Corps.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was still with the cadet. He grabbed the top bass spot, I believe.
Right. And in '92, he played cymbals. I love it. It's just,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where, you just have that conviction.
Yeah, I remember. Since you talk about the top basic from Santa Clara '92, and he also did some tech work for the Vanguard Cadets in '93, and to see Zach Morton, I remember one time in the solo, he had this nice crescendo roll, and I remember just being up at the SoCal show. I think it was at Riverside or Costa Mesa. It's like you could feel his beats up in the stands. I was just like, wow, that whoever was teching him, and of course, to see how Zach, he's got the great work ethic and the unknown bass tech that we know. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think he marched with Jim Casella like in '89. I think I'm not sure if that was his rookie year. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and then on the subject of Zach, amazing at top bass, and then when he just hopped on snare, and he just took that same thing, and he was just like one of the guys in the snare line that I think. If I really think about it, I think in '98 he really didn't have as much of the attention of the staff as far as fix this as others did. I think he was probably talked to the least, if I can really think back. I mean, Urchin was the center snare, so you almost expect that he that guy's a monster. But yeah, I just remember Zach was just always there and always consistent, and just really didn't have the attention of fix this, come on, get back in this role or something. Pretty crazy now that I think about it. And yeah, just amazing guy. Super, gosh, funny times.
Yeah.
That guy's laughing.
Yeah.
Morning stretches. I really can't go too much into morning stretches, but a lot of laughs. And a lot of it coming after something that's coming out of Zach or Spike's mouth.
All right, gotcha. All right, Steve. Hey, thanks so much. Oh, not Steve Perez, but Steve Perez. Is that right? I'm not sure if I got it right. Perez. Okay, gotcha. Well, hey, thanks again. All right, so hopefully we'll see you at practice in February.
Yes.
So, all right.
Yeah.